A new transfer student just arrived at our school, calling herself a precious princess. As class president, I was collecting homework when she pouted and mocked me on the spot. The class president is everyone's servant. A servant should act like a servant. How about this? Get on your knees right now and say, "Princess, please submit your homework and I'll give it to you." I was shocked by her demand, and just turned in what I had to the professor. But the next day, she posted about me on the school's confession wall, spreading lies. Does the class president have special privileges to isolate people? Just like that. My classmates started isolating me. Then she put on a wedding dress, walked up to my boyfriend, and smiled sweetly. Even though you once loved that bully, a princess should be generous. Now this princess has chosen you. You have my permission to date me. After my boyfriend rejected her, she became furious and spread rumors that my boyfriend and I were bullying her together. Her crazy fans ran us over with a car. Kill us both. Meanwhile, she became the poor, resilient little princess in everyone's eyes. When I opened my eyes again, both my boyfriend and I had been reborn. You want me to turn in my homework? That's easy. The class president is everyone's servant. A servant should act like a servant. How about this? Get on your knees right now and say, "Princess, please submit your homework, and I'll give it to you." Emily pouted, her lips making a cute and charming expression. The other male students around her laughed with adoring faces. The exact same scene as my past life. Back then, I thought she was just being ridiculous and didn't bother with her. Then she accused me of isolating her, leading a campaign to exclude her, and eventually turning it into a school bullying incident. As a top student, my boyfriend and I spent all our time in the library and lab, completely unaware of the gossip spreading outside. By the time we realized what was happening, it was too late. Since fate gave me another chance, I was going to teach this stupid and malicious girl a lesson. I glanced down at my phone recording in my shirt pocket and smiled. "Emily, we don't have a tradition here. We're the person collecting homework. Meals to the person submitting it. That's a custom where you're from? Now that you're here, I'm afraid you'll need to adapt to our ways. After all, here we only kneel to heaven, earth, and our parents. Nobody else." Though I didn't use any curse words, my message was pretty harsh. But classroom erupted in laughter. Emily's chubby cheeks turned bright red. She looked angry and hurt. "Class president, I was just joking. Why are you being so mean? I know I'm a transfer student and it's normal to be excluded. But you're the class president. We're both women. Why do you have to target me like this?" She was so good at playing the victim and smearing others. I laughed mockingly. "Are you being hypocritical? When you asked me to kneel, you were joking. But when I said we don't have that custom here, suddenly I'm being mean?" Every other student cooperated when turning in homework. Only you didn't. Are you sure you're not the one targeting me? My logic was clear and organized. Emily was left speechless. Even the most clueless students could see that Emily was being unreasonable. First, her eyes turned red and her lips trembled, about to play the victim again. I smiled and continued. "Emily, even though I'd love to keep chatting with you, there are only 5 minutes left until the professor's deadline for homework. If I don't turn it in on time, everyone's grades will be voided. Please give me your homework now." A flash of confusion crossed Emily's eyes. She seemed surprised that the quiet class president everyone talked about could suddenly speak so well. I smiled and held out my hand. "Emily, please give me your homework quickly, or I really won't make it in time." I looked down at my watch. I originally left 30 minutes to deliver the homework, but you've kept me here so long that there are only 10 minutes left until the professor stops accepting assignments. If I run now, I can still make it. Otherwise, everyone's homework will be voided. In this situation, redirecting the conflict was the best solution. Sure enough, the students who had been watching from the sidelines spoke up. "Princess Emily, let's play later. Turn in your homework quickly. Otherwise, we'll all lose our homework points for the semester, and a lot of students will fail." One helpful student picked up the notebook from her desk and said, "Is this it?" Emily rushed to grab it, but she was too slow. The student said in surprise, "Wait, this homework isn't even finished. The professor assigned it a week ago." As soon as those words came out, everyone's teasing expressions turned complicated. At first, everyone thought she was just trying to liven things up and tease me. Turns out she hadn't finished her homework at all, and was deliberately stalling for time. I seized the moment perfectly. "Emily, if you hadn't finished, you could have just told me. I wouldn't have collected yours. Or I could have put in a good word for you with the professor. But you shouldn't have wasted everyone's time. You almost made all of us get zeros. That. I grabbed the homework and rushed toward the academic building. Actually, there was still enough time. But I wanted to look really rushed. Behind me, I could hear everyone complaining. Thank God the class president caught on. Or all our homework this semester would have been for nothing. If she didn't do it. Fine. But why drag us down with her? How can someone be so selfish? I couldn't see her face. But I could imagine how terrible Emily looked right now. No matter how good she was at talking or acting cute. This time she had offended the entire class. That bad impression was set. It wouldn't be so easy for her to cause trouble again. Because I delivered the homework on time. Everyone's assignments counted. I could have easily made sure the homework didn't get there, making everyone hate Emily more. But there were several students on financial aid in our class. If their homework got zeros, they'd lose their scholarships and grants. When I got back to the classroom, I started playing my own victim card, wiping away non-existent sweat and breathing heavily. I almost fell while running just now. But thankfully I made it before the deadline. The professor scolded me for so long, saying I had no time management skills for cutting it so close, that we don't take assignments seriously. I apologized over and over, promising we'd do well on the final exam. Only then did he let us off the hook. Then I looked at Emily with some helplessness. I tried to speak up for you with the professor, saying you're a transfer student who's only been here 2 weeks, and aren't familiar with the assignments yet. I wanted to give you another chance, but the professor said your attitude in class has been poor all along, and you just giggled during lab experiments. I'm sorry I couldn't convince him. To give you a break, she treated me so badly. Yet I still spoke up for her. Everyone praised me for being kind and generous. Only Emily was gritting her teeth in anger. But instantly she switched to looking extremely wronged and pitiful. The professor hates me now. And my homework got a 0. Will I not be able to graduate? Actually, there's so much homework that professors don't even count at all. If you hadn't said anything, the professor wouldn't have even noticed. Class president, you're so mean. I don't like you anymore. Her acting skills and ability to shift blame were truly impressive. Honestly, she was wasting her talent at our school. She should be an actress and win an Oscar easily. Her words did have some logic to them. With so many students and so much homework, many professors just glance at it or don't grade it at all. Unfortunately for her, our professor was famously strict and thorough. Before I could respond, the scholarship student spoke up. Not notice? Are you kidding? Professor Lee is the strictest teacher in the school. If someone doesn't turn in homework without telling him in advance, our whole class average drops 10 points. You don't do your homework? Fine. But don't drag us down and make us fail and lose our scholarships. I really don't understand. If you're a student who doesn't study or do homework, what are you even doing at school if you have this time and money? Why not do something else? That was pretty harsh. But because the speaker was the class's top student and a handsome guy, Emily didn't argue back. Instead, she looked at him with big, teary eyes, appearing pitiful. Usually guys fall for girls acting like this. But this genius student was different. He was that year's top science student and had even skipped grades, making him 2 years younger than us. He hadn't even hit puberty yet. Anyone who affected his grades, even God himself, would get no sympathy. Not only that, but he had a group of devoted fans, both girls and guys. They all started taking his side, too. This time, Emily had hit a brick wall. Many people started talking behind her back. Actually, if this whole thing had just been left alone, it would have blown over. After all, no one suffered any real harm. But Emily, that idiot, actually went and posted about me on the confession wall herself. Well, I'm so pitiful. I just transferred here. And the class president is leading everyone to isolate me. Girls are supposed to be the most beautiful existence in the world. So why is there female rivalry and bullying? I'm not trying to avoid studying hard. I just transferred here and can't keep up with the classes. So is that a reason for school bullying? If I could choose, who wouldn't want to be a genius top student? Do poor students not deserve to live? As soon as this post went up, it exploded: school bullying, female rivalry, and poor students. These 3 topics stacked together would go viral anywhere. Since the semester had started a while ago, there were only a handful of new transfer students. People quickly identified Emily. She usually loved posting carefully photoshopped pictures of herself on the school forum, and she'd occasionally wear her school uniform. to watch basketball games. At the court. With her sweet, whiny voice and appearance. Many students recognized her. Students who didn't know the truth started taking her side and attacking me in the comments. I pretended to be completely unaware of all this, letting the controversy build. In my past life, I did the same thing. But back then it was passive, while this time it was active. Because only when the controversy reached its peak, and everyone knew about it, only then would my clarification and face slapping really make her the target of everyone's mockery, nailing her to the pillar of shame. So, just like in my past life, my boyfriend and I stayed in the library and lab. But my boyfriend, who usually never paid attention to anything outside his studies and experiments, suddenly brought up this topic on his own. Jessica, that new transfer student in your class, Emily, is spreading lies about you on the school forum. I have friends who know some hackers. They could crash the forum. What do you think? Hearing this, I froze for a moment. I looked up and met his amber eyes, filled with heartache and hesitation. There was even a faint red glow in them. His hands, hanging at his sides, were clenched into tight fists, as if he was holding back anger and resentment. In that instant, I understood. He had been reborn, too. Just a little later than me. I reached out and took his hand, feeling it, still cold with sweat. My voice was gentle but firm. Ryan, don't be afraid. This time we absolutely won't repeat the same mistakes. Hacking the forum is too easy, I whispered, tightening my grip on Ryan's trembling hand. If the post disappears, she becomes a martyr, a victim of mysterious dark forces. No, Ryan. We let it burn. We let the fire get so big that when we pour water on it, the steam scalds her. Ryan took a deep breath, the red tint in his eyes fading into a cold, calculating amber. He nodded. You're right. In our past life, we ignored the ants until they ate us alive. This time, we step on the anthill. We spent the next hour not studying, but strategizing. I pulled out my phone. The forum post had already garnered 500 comments. Most were strangers from other majors sympathizing with the poor, bullied princess. User 123, the class president sounds like a tyrant. Isolating a transfer student? Disgusting. Pretty princess _ Emily, I don't want to blame anyone. I just wanted to make friends. Maybe I'm just not smart enough for this class. I chuckled. She's digging her own grave. I've exported the surveillance footage from the classroom, Ryan said, his fingers flying across his laptop. The angle captures her playing on her phone for 30 minutes while everyone else lined up. Hold that, I said. First, I post the audio. I logged into the forum using my official account, Class President Jessica. I didn't type a long defense. I didn't cry. I simply uploaded the audio file I had recorded earlier, titled, Regarding the Custom of Kneeling. The audio played clearly. Get on your knees right now and say, Princess, please submit your homework. Emily pouted, followed by my calm rebuttal about kneeling only to heaven, earth, and parents. Then, I added a single caption. At this university, we grade based on academic performance, not roleplay. If you want a servant, hire one. If you want a degree, submit your homework. I hit send. Within 10 minutes, the wind shifted. The classmates who had witnessed the scene flooded the comments. Science Geek _01, the top student can confirm. She wasted everyone's time. I almost lost my scholarship because she hadn't even written the assignment. She was too busy checking her reflection in her powered-off phone screen. Scholarship _girl, she tried to make the president kneel? Is she insane? We aren't in a feudal drama. Emily tried to delete her post, but Ryan had already written a script to archive it. Every time she deleted it, a bot reposted the screenshots with the caption, "The internet remembers." The next day, Emily didn't wear her usual frilly dress. She wore a hoodie, keeping her head down. But the moment she saw Ryan waiting for me by the door, she stopped. Her eyes, red from crying, or perhaps eye drops, lit up with a terrifying, delusional hope. She believed the narrative in her head, the world is against me, so the male lead must be the only one who understands me. She walked right past me and grabbed the sleeve of Ryan's lab coat. Senior Ryan, she whimpered, her voice trembling. Jessica is turning everyone against me. You're the smartest person here, surely you can see through her manipulation? She's just jealous because I'm... Ryan didn't even look down. He physically recoiled, shaking his arm as if a cockroach had landed on it. He pulled out a bottle of disinfectant spray from his pocket, standard lab equipment, and sprayed the spot she had touched. The hiss of the spray bottle silenced the hallway. Do not touch me, Ryan said, his voice loud enough to carry. And do not slander my girlfriend. If you have a mental condition that causes delusions of royalty, the medical school is 2 buildings over. They need test subjects. Emily froze, her face turning a mixture of purple and white. The surrounding students erupted into laughter. Chapter 2, The Parasite. For 2 weeks, it was quiet. Too quiet. In our past life, Emily's power came from her fans, a group of lonely, socially awkward boys she manipulated online, calling them her knights. It was these knights who had doxed us, harassed us, and eventually, one of them had driven the car. We need to find the driver, I told him one evening in the lab. The one who killed us. His name was Mark, Ryan said grimly. Engineering major. Obsessive personality. I looked him up. He's currently the moderator of Emily's fan page. We can't just wait for him to snap, I said. We need to dismantle the cult. Ryan smiled, a dark, dangerous smile. I'm already in the group chat. Ryan had created a fake persona online, richprince_99, and infiltrated Emily's private fan group. He showed me the chat logs. It was a cesspool. Emily was feeding them lies privately, telling them that I was blackmailing her, that Ryan was being controlled by my rich family, and that she needed saving. Princess_M. I saw Ryan looking at me today with such sadness. He wants to be with me, I know it. But Jessica threatens to ruin his career if he leaves her. I feel so helpless. Knight_Mark. Don't worry, princess. We won't let that witch hurt you. We'll free him. She's writing a screenplay where she's the heroine, I muttered, disgusted. She really thinks you love her? Delusion is a hell of a drug, Ryan said. Watch this. Ryan, posing as richprince_99, typed into the chat. Brothers, I want to support our princess. I'm willing to buy her the limited edition star necklace she posted about. But I heard a rumor she actually has a boyfriend back in her hometown. Is it true? He then posted a photoshopped, but realistic-looking, screenshot of a conversation between Emily and a Chad talking about how easy it was to trick these loser nerds at the university for money. It was bait. We didn't know if she had a boyfriend, but we knew she despised her fans. Emily immediately panicked in the chat. Princess_M, that's fake. I've never said that. Who is this? Kick him. But the seed of doubt was planted. Ryan, as Rich Prince, continued, I don't know. The timestamp matches the time you said you were sleeping early last night. Chaos erupted in the group chat. The illusion of her purity was cracking. But Mark, the dangerous one, wasn't swaying. Knight_Mark, I don't care. I trust her. Anyone who attacks the princess is an enemy. He's too far gone, Ryan said, closing the laptop. We have to provoke him into making a mistake before the car incident happens. We need to trigger it on our terms. Chapter 3, The Wedding Dress. The University Annual Gala. This was the event where, in our past life, Emily had cornered Ryan. This time, we were ready. The ballroom was adorned with fairy lights. I wore a sleek, midnight blue evening gown. Ryan looked dashing in a black tuxedo. We were the picture of a power couple. Halfway through the night, the doors swung open. A hush fell over the crowd. Emily stood there. She wasn't wearing an evening gown. She was wearing a full, white, lace wedding dress with a train that dragged on the floor. It was absurd. It was grotesque. It was a declaration of war. She walked through the crowd, the sea of students parting for her in sheer confusion. She held a bouquet of red roses. She walked straight toward Ryan. Ryan, she announced, her voice pitching up into that sticky sweet tone. I know you're suffering. I know you're waiting for a signal. I'm here. I'm brave enough for both of us. She knelt. She knelt this time. Princesses don't usually propose, she said, tears glistening in her eyes. But for you, I'll break tradition. Leave that bully. Marry me. Cameras flashed. Everyone was recording. This was peak entertainment. Ryan looked at her, then looked at me. He didn't get angry this time. He didn't shout. He simply laughed. It wasn't a mocking laugh, but a laugh of genuine confusion. He took the microphone from the MC on stage. Emily, Ryan said, his voice amplified through the hall. I'm confused. You said I'm being blackmailed? You said I'm suffering? I know you are, she cried. Jessica, Ryan turned to me. Am I suffering? Only from secondhand embarrassment, dear, I replied, stepping up to the mic. Ryan turned back to the crowd. Let me clarify something. I have filed 3 restraining orders against this student for harassment. She has stalked me to the men's restroom. She has stolen used pipettes from my trash. And now, she has crashed a school gala in a wedding costume. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. The room gasped. Emily's eyes widened. She thought, for a split second, that the twist was coming. That he was going to propose to her. Ryan turned to me. He went down on one knee. I was planning to do this after graduation, Ryan said, his eyes locking onto mine with an intensity that burned. But I don't want there to be any ambiguity. Jessica, you are my research partner, my best friend, and the love of 2 lifetimes. Will you marry me? The silence was deafening. Then, I smiled. Yes. He slipped the ring on my finger. The crowd erupted. Cheers, whistling, applause. Emily was still kneeling on the floor, in her dirty wedding dress, looking like a discarded prop. She screamed. No. It's wrong. The script is wrong. She scrambled up, lunging at me. You stole my life. You stole my destiny. Security guards, whom we had alerted beforehand, intercepted her. As they dragged her out, kicking and screaming, she looked deranged. Mark, she shrieked into the crowd. Mark. Kill them. Kill them for me. Chapter 4, The Final Trap. The moment she screamed that name, the trap sprung. We knew Mark was in the parking lot. We had seen him lurking earlier. Ryan had already called the police, reporting a suspicious vehicle with obscured plates circling the venue. As we left the gala, ensuring we were surrounded by a large group of professors and security, we saw the headlights flare to life. A beat-up sedan revved its engine. He's actually going to do it, Ryan said softly, his body tensing. He won't get close, I said. As the car screeched forward, aiming for the crowd, sirens wailed from all sides. 2 police cruisers cut off the exit. The sedan swerved, crashed into a concrete bollard, and came to a smoking halt. Police swarmed the car. They dragged Mark out. He was screaming about protecting his princess. It was over. No one died. No one was run over. Because of Emily's public scream instructing him to kill them, she wasn't just seen as a crazy girl anymore. She was an accessory to attempted murder. Epilogue, The Queen. The investigation was swift. Mark's phone revealed everything, Emily's instructions, her manipulation, her lies. She hadn't just implied violence. In her desperation, she had explicitly messaged him that night, if they leave the hall alive, I will kill myself. Make it stop. Emily was expelled. Her parents, wealthy but exhausted by her antics, finally had her committed to a psychiatric facility. The princess had her castle, but the walls were padded, and the servants wore white coats and carried sedatives. Ryan and I graduated with honors. Years later, I sat in our shared office. We had started a biotech company together. Ryan was looking at a sample under the microscope, the sunlight catching the gold band on his finger. Thinking about the past, he asked, not looking up. Just thinking about customs, I said, spinning a pen. Remember what I told her? We only kneel to heaven, earth, and parents. Ryan looked up, grinning. And when proposing? Exceptions can be made, I smiled. We had survived the malice, the lies, and the violence. We didn't just rewrite our ending, we burned the old book and wrote a masterpiece. The class president didn't need to be a servant, and the princess didn't get the prince. In the real world, the ones who do the homework, show up on time, and watch each other's backs are the ones who win. Ready for the meeting? Ryan asked, standing up and offering me his hand. Always, I said, taking it. We walked out of the office, heads held high, leaving the ghosts of the past behind us forever.